Will the third time be the charm for Carolina? They're 0-2 against the Saints this season. They'll head back to New Orleans to play Drew Brees and the Saints. Can they get revenge, or will they go 0-3 this year against the Saints?
I am super happy the Falcons don't have to play the Saints.
Yeah.
B, based on that previous statement, I'm picking the Saints. You have to go into the Superdome, that crowd, an inconsistent Cam Newton. You never know what you're going to get any given week. That running game with Ingram and Kamara. And a very opportunistic and pretty darn good defense, surprisingly good defense for the Saints.
And it seems like every time the Saints get a decent defense, they ball out. They get into the playoffs. That's always the knock on them, is their defense of play. And they've been decent, not always great at times. Sometimes they get up a lot of yards, but they haven't been getting up a lot of points, which is most important.
And I remember hearing this is the least amount of attempts Drew Brees has ever thrown this year.
Absolutely. You should be fresh for the playoffs.
Well, I was going to say, sure, he's going to be fresh for playoffs, but I won't go in there with that. It was more, that means that running games get moving.
Yes.
They've moved it all year. They don't have to make Brees throw the ball 40 times a game. He can throw it 30, and they can be just as efficient and more productive.
Now, how many touchdown passes do you think Drew Brees will throw in this game?
Let's see here. At least two.
At least two. Yeah, I think he's going to have a big day. I think Mike Thomas is going to get open. I've been liking how Ted Ginn Jr. has been playing, too. Really speedy guy. He had some success earlier this year against Carolina. I think he's going to do some things. Now, in both matchups this year, this was interesting to me. Cam Newton has thrown under 200 yards. What does he need to do to get the passing game going? I've been saying this all the time. Cam Newton needs to get a lot better. I think he's a little bit overrated. The receiving core, Devin Funchess, he's not a number one receiver. Russell Shepard's not a number two receiver. And him and Greg Olsen, they haven't been on the same page at all. They've been all over the place. Christian McCaffrey, the rookie, he's been like their best receiver, one of their most consistent skill players. But what do they need to do to get Cam Newton going? I know you're picking the Saints, but what does Carolina need to do, at least to keep in this ball game?
It's going to be on their defense to hold down the Saints and that offense as best they can, because they're going to score. They're going to score, and Cam has to be more accurate.
Absolutely.
And they've got to get that running game going, and because Cam, he's 59% this season accuracy rate.
It's not good. He needs to get up there. He needs to do a lot better.
Which is actually higher than his career of 58.5%, which shows you how inconsistent Cam is, and that he's never been accurate in his entire career, and it's shown again this year. The inconsistency, too, with this Panthers offense, it goes back to Cam and not being able to get the ball to his receivers.
Absolutely. Cam Newton, if they want to just stick in this game, I'm picking the Saints, by the way. 30-17. I think Carolina's offense is going to struggle. I think the Panthers' defense is pretty good, but I think Cam Newton's going to put them in bad situations. Cam Newton is going to throw an interception or two, and that's going to set up the Saints in good field position. Alvin Kamara, I don't believe he's going to have a great game running, but I think he's going to catch a lot of passes. They're going to utilize him in that passing game, and that's one of the main reasons he's in the Pro Bowl. Able to run the ball pretty well, and then he could do it on the passing end. He's like a split back. He's kind of a wide receiver, kind of a running back, and I think he's going to exploit that defense. I don't think that the linebacking core can keep up with him.
He's just so dynamic back there. Whether it's, like you were saying, out of the backfield on the swing pass, you've seen him line up in the slot as a receiver. He can do so many things with the ball in his hands. He's dangerous, and that's what makes the Saints a dangerous team. You can put Kamara in the slot, and you can have Ingram in the backfield. So that's two guys right there that are tough to defend for the defenders. Would you line up a linebacker on Kamara? You bring down a safety to line on Kamara. That opens up other people, other options, and then you've got Ingram back there in the backfield. It's a very scary, dangerous.
Yeah, because I'm looking at Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly. Those guys are really run stoppers. I don't think they're that good in coverage, at least not anymore. Especially Thomas Davis, getting a little bit older. I don't think he's that good in coverage. Luke Kuechly's all right, but Alvin Kamara, he's something else. He's something else. He could dominate this game by himself, take that pressure off of Drew Brees, and that's exactly why I think the Saints are going to win that game.